I'm a bit late, but here is my review of Boruto chapter 2 Blue Vortex chapter 22. It's literally hype. Okay, so if you didn't read the previous manga chapter, what happened is Sarada awakened the Mangekyo Sharingan. Then she decided to use Ohirume, which is literally an overpowered jutsu. Ohirume is literally broken as fuck, okay? That jutsu is capable of defeating any ninja in the vicinity of Sarada's jutsu. Period. It's literally broken. So what happens is they defeat Ryu, right? And then the Thorn Bulb appears. And Boruto literally teleports and kills Matsuri. So that's done and dusted. Matsuri literally needed to go. That was the most creepiest, one of the, okay, first of all, yeah, I'm not gonna hear me out, okay? I'm not trying to hear me out of Matsuri, okay? This is literally a tree. Yeah, you know, the top half looks bad as well, right? But I'm not trying to hear me out for nobody, right? So Matsuri is creepy as hell. She's gone now. Alright, she was giving me creepy vibes. She's gone. Boruto comes in, slashes her to pieces. Konohamaru, I swear to God, right? This guy is supposed to be a Hokage candidate, but you can't even fight a tree, okay? And this tree wasn't even that powerful. Couldn't even fight a tree. One Rasengan, that was it. Like, it was basically done, right? Konohamaru, very disappointed. But Boruto comes in, saves Konohamaru, right? And then guess what? Because Boruto is there now, right? Juro decides to appear as well because he wants to kill Boruto because Boruto knows too much. The thing is, as much as Juro is a big threat, he's really not that intelligent, okay? Because he shows up and says, I'm gonna kill Boruto because he knows too much. But Boruto's already divulged all the information that they know, right? About the tail beasts. Boruto's already divulged all the information about the trees to everybody. So it's everybody's secret now. Do you see what I'm saying? So killing Boruto is really not going to do anything because all the information he already divulged is over. There's no need for him to kill Boruto. He might as well kill everybody else, right? So his resolve to kill Boruto is literally pointless as fuck, right? But he did say that he wants to find Boruto's accomplice because most likely he got the information from an accomplice. Question is, how does he know that though? How does he know that somebody was helping Boruto, right? How do you know that Boruto somehow found out about how the trees work? Because he and Sasuke were fighting them, the claw grind, right? So technically, Juro should not know that Boruto has an accomplice. However, he knows that, hey, I don't know, right? So Juro comes in, right? And then he looks at Ryu's Thorn Bulb, right? And he ignores it. A lot of people actually have been reading in comments of lots of videos where people doing their own reviews don't understand why Juro did that. And the answer is very simple. It's based on something he said at the end of the manga chapter when speaking to Boruto, okay? Juro says, okay, that love is literally a weakness, right? Love is a weakness, and due to love, right, people make silly mistakes, okay? Now, he ignored the Thorn Bulb for Ryu because he's going to retrieve that later. But the one for Matsuri, he's definitely not going to collect, right? Because guess how Matsuri was literally caught off guard? Love, okay? So due to that alone, there is no way Juro is going to collect Matsuri's Thorn Bulb. Period. He's not going to do that. And even if he did, right, he's going to destroy it because this person's already ruined. Why would you reincarnate Matsuri, right, and repair her for her to make the same mistake again? You see what I'm saying? So it was not going to happen, right? So Boruto appears, destroys Matsuri, okay? Then he tells Konohamaru, get out of the way, right? Take the Thorn Bulbs, run away, and meet up with the other Sanshinobi. Wait, hold on a second. How does, right, Boruto know all this information? Because that's what Konohamaru is literally questioning. He's like, yo, like, there's a little panel, and if you don't pay attention, right, there is a little panel where Konohamaru says, wait, hold on a second. How do you know this information? Okay, so clearly, most likely, Boruto is working with somebody who has sent them on this mission. Boruto literally said, wait for the next instruction once you get to wherever it is, meaning that he's aware of what steps they're supposed to follow and what they're doing on this mission in the first place. So clearly, Boruto is collaborating with Shikamaru because Shikamaru is the person that sent them on this mission. So clearly, Konohamaru has figured out, right, that Boruto is working with Shikamaru. Period. So maybe he might question Shikamaru, okay? Let's hope that's what he does instead of just going to snitch on the Hokage and get essentially Shikamaru removed as the Hokage so then he can jump into place. Because let's be real, if Konohamaru was not a G like that, right, that's exactly what he's gonna do. So now he knows that they're collaborating, Shikamaru and Boruto are collaborating, and he's still somehow hesitant to grab the Thorn Bulb and just run away. Eventually he does because Boruto saves him again because he's trying to stand there and do absolutely nothing. Then comes the main event. My nigga Juro, right, deploys, right? He comes to the scene, right, and he tries to fight Boruto. Boruto hit this motherfucker with a Rasengan, okay? Hits Bruce with a Rasengan. This guy just tanks the Rasengan, turns around while he's falling, right? And then just shoots a tail beast bomb, right? So first of all, the Rasengan does absolutely nothing to him. Then he goes on to on a rant on a speech about how love is a weakness. So clearly he's learned that, you know, he's not gonna make any sacrifices for anybody, not even the Claw Grimes or any of his team members. Jura's not gonna do that. He's made that very clear. Boruto's literally standing there, right, questioning what Jura's telling him, and then Kashikuji makes a statement, okay, about Boruto's flying Raijin. He basically says that doing it over a long distance is extremely tricky, meaning that Boruto being able to essentially escape from the situation is going to be impossible because he needs to focus. And if chakra is very far away, then it essentially means, right, that it's going to be hard for him to teleport. Yet Boruto was able to do it anyway. So there's only two possible options I can see here. One, okay, Boruto did the tricky part of trying to, you know, teleport from wherever he is, okay, to the battlefield. Or number two, he was only able to teleport to the battlefield, right, because Kashin Koji and Boruto were in that area, okay? They purposely led them to that area specifically because the hideout is most likely there, and that's why Boruto was able to teleport. If that is the case, then that basically means that Boruto should be able to escape. But because Kashin Koji is saying that Boruto is basically done for, it means that most likely it was the first option, which is Boruto traveling from a very long distance using Fire Raijin, right? Now, let's talk about Boruto escaping this current situation, right? Kashikuji says he's seen every possible option. Boruto's going to die in this current scenario, okay? Now, people are saying this. People are saying that Momoshiki is going to come out and he's going to attack Jura, okay? If Kashikuji can see every single possibility in existence, don't you think he's seen that most likely Momoshiki is going to come out and try and defend Boruto, right? Or save his own life, right? Through Boruto, and still lose anyway? You see what I'm saying? Jura is that strong. Momoshiki can't do anything to Jura. You see what I'm saying? And essentially Boruto's fucked. So if Boruto's sealed in that, Boruto's fate is sealed in that particular scenario, there's only one possible solution to this. Mitsuki, right? Or the other guy, Araya, I think. And so Mitsuki, Araya, and Konohamaru must do something, right, in order to save Boruto. That's the only way, right? Somebody has to sacrifice himself in order for this to happen. But if Kashikuji is saying that, you know, Boruto's fate is sealed and he has these abilities to see possibilities, then most likely Boruto is literally done for, and maybe they're gonna have to revive him or something like that. I'm pretty sure somebody in Konoha knows how to do that to Edo Tensei. I mean, I'm looking at Kabuto right here, okay? So that being said, somebody's gonna have to sacrifice themselves, okay, in order to save Boruto to change his fate. Or it means that Kashin Koji cannot see all possibilities. Maybe it so happens that new possibilities can be created. Do you see what I'm saying? And Kashin Koji is just leading them on the line. And that's the only possible way this situation is going to unfold. So, that said, we go on to the next thing. So Boruto then decides to use Uzuhiko after Jura essentially holds him. He uses Uzuhiko, hits Jura with it. Jura is able to nullify the whole thing. Then he basically says it worked based on the principle of the Biju bomb, meaning that because he knows how Biju bombs work, he's going to nullify it. That makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. I literally personally cannot make sense of it, because think about it. I was just thinking maybe the reason why he was able to dispel it in the first place, right, is because he comes from a tree. If a tree is planted into the earth, then a tree is used to the earth's rotation. You see what I'm saying? So if he comes from the tree, then he already has this knowledge. So if he's moving by the earth's rotation, then he's able to adjust himself to whatever is happening to him through Uzuhiko. That was my interpretation of it. But however, this nigga is just saying that he's using principles, Boruto using principles of the Biju bomb in order to do this. So I personally don't understand what the hell is going on here. That's basically the end of the chapter. So let's review. Now, there are a multitude of possibilities here on what's going to happen in the next chapter. I'm going to give you my thoughts. Okay, so number one is that Sarada is going to wake up. Sarada is going to wake up, then someone's going to give, first of all, Mitsuki has Sage Chakra, right? He can heal Sarada. Once Sarada wakes up, Sarada can activate her Mangekyo Sharingan again, and that will give them a winning charm. But Kashikoji is saying that they're going to lose, right? So essentially it means that most likely Kashikoji is lying, okay? Because we already know that Kashikoji has his own schemes. He has a way in which things are supposed to fall together in order for his schemes to work. All Kashikoji is trying to do is just help the team, right? So there are lots of different possibilities out there, and he only sees one where they can win, or at least he sees a multitude where they can win. He's trying to put that in place. That doesn't mean things can't go wrong and then be put back in place. Do you see what I'm saying? So if that's the case, then it means either Kashinkoji's lying, right? And there are multitudes of ways that we can win, but he's trying to pick the very best one. Do you see what I'm saying? And therefore, he's lying, saying that Boruto is done for. Because let's be real, if Boruto is really done for, then this is the end of the manga. You know what I'm saying? This is a bad ending. But we already know that Boruto is smart, and that this is not going to be the end of the manga, okay? Because it'll be a bad ending. Therefore, it means Kashinkoji is most likely lying, because he wasn't honest to Boruto. If he wasn't honest to Boruto in the first place, then he wouldn't be honest to us, the reader. Do you see what I'm saying? So therefore, most likely Kashinkoji is lying, and Sarada will possibly wake up and use her ability again. Because we see the debut, now we need to see her actually use it while working with other people at the same time. You feel me? So most likely, Sarada is probably going to wake up and use her ability again. Number 2 is that people saying that the Jogan, we're finally going to see the Jogan, okay? I'm going to be real with you. I need you lot all to actually be honest here, okay? We have not seen the Jogan in the manga, right? And nowhere in the manga does it mention that Boruto has the Jogan. Boruto in the anime knows he has the Jogan, okay? Because he's seen it a multitude of times. He's used it a multitude of times, right? Here's the reason why I think the Jogan is anime exclusive, okay? It's because Boruto already knows he has the Jogan. He's used it a multitude of times. Effectively, actually, even fighting the Niue, he was able to find the weak spots of the Niue and use it, right? The Jogan appeared when he was fighting Momoshiki. When he was about to hit him with the Rasengan, it appeared in the anime, okay? This did not happen in the manga. Nowhere in the manga, right, did the Jogan appear. Even at the start, the beginning scene where Boruto was standing there, in the anime, it was the Jogan, right? In the manga, it was a Byakugan. You know what I'm saying? How do we know? If you look at the eyes in the Jogan, right, he has the dark sclera. In the anime, it was a Byakugan. So therefore, most likely the Jogan is just something that was created in the anime only. Therefore, most likely we're not going to see it. If it does appear in the manga, then they have a lot of explaining to do on why Boruto has never mentioned it, okay? And if it does appear in the manga, then most likely is a trump card that Boruto has never mentioned to people because he doesn't want people to know. Kashinkoji most likely will know Boruto has a Jogan because he's seen the different possibilities. But if he's saying Boruto is done for, then the Jogan most likely won't appear, and it's most likely just an anime only kind of thing. You see what I'm saying? So I don't think that's gonna happen. Should Momoshiki appear, he should possibly be able to save Boruto by using dimensional powers to be able to get Boruto out of there. So maybe flying Raijin won't work, right? But dimensional powers should be able to work. I mean, Kawaki can use Jigen's abilities, and we already know that Momoshiki can take over Boruto, but just because he can take over Boruto doesn't mean, right, that Boruto can't use Momoshiki's powers. So the other way in which Boruto can get out of there is by using his dimensional powers, by using Momoshiki's powers. But we don't know. Over the years, has Boruto really been training to be able to control Momoshiki's power to a certain extent, to the point where he doesn't actually get taken over on Momoshiki? We don't know. We don't even know whether he still has those drugs that he was taking when Amada gave to him to control the power. You see what I'm saying? So maybe he can take one of those and then use the power of Momoshiki to be able to get out of there. Those are the only ways in which I can see Boruto escaping. Do you see what I'm saying? But yeah, 100% Kashinkoji's lying. He's not seeing all the other possibilities. That being said, my nigga, that's all I have to say about this manga chapter. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below, and join me in Discord. Hunter x Hunter reaction is coming right away. So let me know if you have any other animes that you want me to react to, and I'm going to react to those as well. That being said,